3, 2, 1. Hello. How
Hi,
are you?
Very well.
Hello,
Happy to be
folks.
here.
If you've just tuned in, I am with Little Wise. How are you?
I am really well. I'm pretty excited. I guess it's been a big week because I have
Yes.
my new single coming out tomorrow.
Well, we're going to have a bit of a listen to it in a minute. But funny you should mention that new single, because I was just listening to it before, and then I listened to your earlier stuff on Spotify during the week. And so I listened to the early stuff before I heard the modern stuff, or the modern song. And so when I first heard you, I thought, oh, there's a little bit of Velvet Underground, Marianne Faithfull, but really kind of that alt country sort of sound with some lap steel. I think lap steel.
In the older stuff?
In the older stuff,
yeah. Some pedal steel and some
Pedal
lap steel. Yeah, both.
And then I listened to the song, the new one that you're launching, which we'll talk about in a minute,
Sure.
today. And that's definitely more sort of rock focused.
Yeah.
Is that a fair comment?
That's a thing for sure. So my last album, Silver Birch, was released in 2016, at the end of 2016, and that is a little bit of more of a mellow, folky country album with a lot of storytelling. And yeah, I guess the sound is a bit softer and quieter.
Right.
But I kind of, I listen to a lot of different music, so I think genre is something I've really struggled with Little Wise, because all the artists that I love, especially songwriters, they have different sounds. And they're sort of hard to pigeonhole. So
who are your favourite artists? Who influences you?
I listen pretty broadly. So I like a lot of the kind of classic 60s and 70s songwriters. Dylan and James Taylor and Jackson Brown. I listen to a lot of the more like some Lucinda Williams and Emmylou Harris, and so that's the kind of country and alt country leanings, I guess. But then I love kind of like pop music, but not like contemporary pop music, kind of more classic 60s and 70s stuff. And this song that we're releasing, I think people have been saying it has a bit of a Pretenders vibe.
Yes, that's true.
And I really like that kind of guitar pop stuff as well. So it's other stuff like the Triffids and so
that's interesting.
I don't know, Paul Kelly.
Do you know an artist called Susie Stapleton? Do you know Susie
I know
Stapleton?
the name, but no. I need to check her out.
Yeah, she's in London at the moment. But when I heard your new single, I thought, oh, right, it's a little bit like her. So it's very close. So that's interesting. And what guitars did you use on it? And what are you holding there? It looks pretty impressive.
It looks maybe more impressive. I don't know, Danelectro. It's a Danelectro. It's not a vintage one. It's just
it's a reissue.
A 59 reissue.
God, it looks so cool.
It's not an expensive guitar.
Yep.
I think they retail at about $700 or $800. So I picked this guitar up in Sydney when I was on tour for the Silver Birch tour, actually. Or actually just before that, when I released the first single off that record, Underwater, and I picked this up. And then I started incorporating it into my show. Like I'll do a couple of songs on electric and the rest of the set acoustic. And then it kind of slowly morphed into this for the majority of my set. And then just a song or two on acoustic, which is sort of where I'm at now. And then sometimes I won't even bring my acoustic to shows, because although I love the sound of an acoustic guitar in the room, I rarely am satisfied with the plugged-in acoustic sound on stage.
So your acoustic
is for me.
Okay, that's interesting. So your acoustic is, and we can see it over there in the corner.
Should I take it out?
Yeah, sure. Let's have a look. We'll come back to the Dan in a minute. Have you got it? Be careful.
Not to get too tangled.
It is a bit tangled here. Ooh, while you're doing that, I've got a cool pedal board as well. What I can do, I'll show you some. I've got that plugged in somewhere. I do have an extra camera, and what we can do is switch. Oh, no, it's not playing ball. Okay, that's cool. We'll forget about the extra camera.
Okay, I can talk about what's on my pedal board after, if you want.
Yeah. So this is a vintage Gibson J50.
J50, yeah.
Do you know exactly what year it is?
I think it's either 1961 or 62. I had sort of two pieces of documentation that said different things. So, bought actually at the same guitar store in Sydney.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, which shop?
It's called Sunburst Music
in Coogee.
In Coogee.
Yeah. It's a good shop.
So I bought this one. I was on holidays in Sydney, actually there for a friend's wedding, and I wasn't in the market for a guitar.
Yep.
And I played this and I thought about it afterwards every day for 6 months.
And you went back and got it.
And I went back and bought it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's good it was there.
And I kept sort of calling them up saying, oh, is it still there? And they're like, yep, it's still here.
Wow.
But I thought
He's a nice guy.
Yeah. And
nice cowboy hats.
Yeah, Doug. And I don't know, I kind of thought, like when I first strummed this guitar, I actually like got a little bit teary.
Oh, right.
I hadn't played many like really beautiful classic vintage acoustic guitars.
Yeah.
And then I thought, oh, maybe that's just because it's that. And then I went around to a bunch of stores and played a bunch, and I didn't have that same feeling.
Same vibe
so
to it.
I just kind of had a feeling that I was going to write a lot of songs on it.
They're a vintage guitar that still is within grasp of people price-wise, I think, too. They haven't just gone bananas, even though they're expensive, but it's not like buying a 335 or something from the same era.
Yeah,
which
right.
are just hideously expensive.
Okay.
So, what were you playing?
Yeah.
Can I just hear a bit of that?
Oh, I was just strumming some chords.
It's got a nice projection. Yeah.
Doesn't hold its tuning super well, as is the want of a vintage guitar.
Well, what I say to people about vintage instruments is they're kind of like a beautiful old car, and you start them up and they sound amazing. You kind of get halfway down the road and the thing breaks down a bit.
Yeah.
You know? That's awesome.
Yeah.
So when you're songwriting,
yes.
Is it lyrics first, music first? Melody, how are you doing?
That's a really good question. I guess my best songwriting is when I guess inspiration just kind of hits and I'll start singing like a lyric and a melody at the same time. It's usually that more so than chords, but I might be kind of like jamming something and you know hit a chord structure that I like. I mean, I can play a bit of Precious while we've got the acoustic guitar, but
Precious is a song off the album that is on Spotify. If you search for Little Wires, you will find it.
So yeah, I guess the best way I write is when lyrics and music come together, but that's like an ideal world situation, and I don't wait around for that to happen. Like I'm constantly writing notes in my phone of lyrical ideas, and I try to treat it quite seriously and make time to sit down and write. But saying that, I am nowhere near as disciplined as a lot of songwriters who, you know, some people I know try and write a song a day.
Right.
I'm nowhere near as prolific as that. But
with something like Precious, were you just writing the chord? Did you get that chord progression first?
So the lyrical idea came to me first. And I was in Vietnam actually, and it was one of those travelling situations where you buy a ticket from A to B, but you have to go to A to W to Z to Q and then to B. So I bought a boat ticket and a bus ticket to get to a boat, but it took us to the town before where the port was.
Wow.
So we there was a guy with a little moped scooter, and I had my backpack on my back, and I think he had my guitar, my little travel guitar between his knees, and it kind of like on this tiny little moped on a big highway, and I was just thinking about how precious life is, and the chorus, which is got no seatbelt, got no life jacket, only got my name, got a few dollars on me. Just kind of came to me.
Sounds great.
I wear no heart, had got no bulletproof vest on. I cling to this life like the last day of spring. Now, I don't remember if that whole thing came to me at once, but I would have gotten some kind of lyrical or melodic idea, and then later, like when traveling, come back to the hotel room or whatever and play around with it. And
yeah, it's definitely country, but it's more Lucinda Williams country, I think,
than straight up country.
Yeah. Than Dolly. Also.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I love Dolly, but yeah.
As do I. Yeah.
Dolly's great. You know what's amazing about Dolly Parton to me
What?
is she's an incredible guitar player. But
Yeah,
she has
she is.
fingernails about this long.
On
and
her,
there
on
and
her left hand
what?
as well.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. Check out an old video. It's amazing. So that's cool.
Did you want me to show you that progression?
Yeah. Are we in the same? I don't know.
So
if
it's just drop D.
Right.
But maybe I could grab that tuner off your headstock to
Go
just
for it.
double check.
So tonight, you're launching your single.
No, not tonight. Next
Oh,
Thursday.
is it next Thursday?
Yeah, Thursday the 30th.
And where is that going to be?
That's at the Starwood Distillery, so whiskey and gin distillery in Port Melbourne. 50 Bertie Street.
50 Bertie Street.
And there'll be free gin on arrival. So it's
Wow.
it's Little Wise. So I'll be playing with my band, and I have Ben Mastwick, who's a really awesome, definitely more the alternative country end of the spectrum, Americana style stuff. He's a great songwriter, so he's opening the show. So
Great.
Doors at 6, he's on at 7, and
That's
Little
fantastic.
Wise at 8, and free gin. So can't really go wrong.
Hello. Yes, that's a brilliant idea. I have to start doing that at the shop.
Yeah,
Free
just
gin.
free gin.
I don't know what will
All
happen,
round.
but who's in your band?
So my core kind of band that I've had for the last couple of years is myself on guitar, Rosie Burgess, who's a songwriter that some people might know, fronting the Rosie Burgess Trio. She plays bass in my band, and Pam Zaharias on drums. So yeah, it's something I didn't notice until someone pointed it out, but they're like, oh, it's an all-girl band, and I was like, oh, well, you know, we're kind of women now, I guess.
Yes.
But yeah, I
All
hadn't,
women band.
I hadn't noticed that it was like an all-female band. I just had
It's
liked
just a
playing
band.
with these people who are great players, and they happen to all be women, which is awesome.
It's cool.
Yeah.
It's handy.
And I should probably say, like, it's cool to be on this Guitar Kernel video.
Oh, thank you so much.
I believe I'm the first female identifying person that has come in.
Yes.
So
and
I'm
it's-
just bringing
We're
some
trying
talent.
hard to get more females in to be on the show. It's not that easy. So, but we do for the morning, for my breakfast show with Sir Nigel. We do the occasional female tribute show, and so we had the Eurythmics
Cool.
last Saturday. So we try and do that. But yeah, we're working on a few people to come in. So
Cool.
so you're in drop D.
So I'm in drop D.
So folks, if you're watching, what does drop D mean? I'm taking this E string down to D. And there's one easy way to do it. You already have a D. Close enough. I've got that suspended. So yeah, so how
Yeah,
does that go?
so the kind of riff, I guess, if you want to call it,
Yeah.
is so what that
Now,
is D.
that's You're putting an F
Putting
sharp
that-
in it. Yep.
If you say so. I never noticed what the notes are. I just, and then I guess it becomes like a bit of an A.
Yeah. A
sus.
sus. That's it. Yeah. A sus
sus
4.
with that open,
With that,
like a
with that
7.
G. Yeah.
And then a G major 7, which would usually be like that shape, but we're in drop D, so to get that bottom note, it's like that. Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Like in the verses, I tend, instead of the G major 7, I'll just play a G, but I just kind of, I like to not always play all the strings. So
I know that's why I liked it when I heard it, because I put on that record, I was working here in the shop and I just had it going through my Yui boom, and that came on, and I thought, oh, I like that immediately. But it's two things I love. It's like, I love drop D.
Yeah, I love drop D. Drop D on this guitar sounds amazing as well.
It does. And we haven't even got that really mic'd up, ladies and gentlemen, but it like, sounds killer.
It's a classic like drop D guitar. Like there's a bunch of songs that I love, like Neil Young songs and stuff, and they're played like on this guitar in drop D.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was doing Cinnamon Girl on one of the shows the other day, and I just play that in standard, but someone wrote, hey, it's in drop D, and it's, so thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I looked it up, and sure enough, it is. I can see him live doing it, so that's awesome. I love that. That's a great one.
So yeah, I did cut. You said you like to not play all the strings. That's what you were saying.
Well, I like the sound of a major 7 chord.
Yeah.
And I like the sound of drop D.
Yeah.
Just that when you hit a D chord, just getting that big full sound,
I use the drop D quite a lot.
It's my best country for you. That's all I can do.
Sounds great.
Yeah, cool. That's amazing. No, I just like major 7s to me are just a beautiful chord. Whatever it happens to be that you're playing, but I just love that extra note in the chord.
Yeah, I mean, I use pretty like plain chords most of the time, so just like major or minor 7, and then like my major 7 is pretty much like as far as I go in terms of a more jazz chord.
Almost jazz.
But I use them pretty sparingly. Probably this song I've used.
Do you ever listen to any Jimmy Webb songs? You a Jimmy Webb fan?
No, but
wrote.
I'm gonna have to like go home and do all this
Jimmy
homework.
Webb. Yeah. Probably not when he's singing, but he wrote a lot of Glenn Campbell stuff. And just I wrote MacArthur Park, and so a lot of big country hits years ago.
Yeah,
but,
cool.
So getting on to your new tune.
Yeah, I might just swap guitars.
So that's officially being launched next week.
Yeah, so it releases tomorrow.
Right.
On Spotify and iTunes and everything. And then the Melbourne kind of launch party is next Thursday night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And you're doing it all yourself? Have you got sort of a publishing deal with a label or management, or how is that working?
I'm completely self-managed. I was really lucky to get a grant from Creative Victoria,
right,
for the making and release of this record. So I have been able to hire some publicity help.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still very much myself self-managed. Yeah.
Cool. It's the way to do it, I think, now. So just before we do that, let's have a look. We've got a few people who are on, so we'll say a quick hello.
Hi.
Hi, folks. Kim Wall is on. Lucas Walker. G'day, Lucas. You're probably up in Cairns. Plays for the Cairns Taipans basketball team.
Awesome.
He was in here. Daniel, my cousin from Quebec, is on. Bonjour. Cam Stevens, Michael Ray, a few other folks there. Tim Batty. So, do you use a capo a lot?
Oh my God, all the time.
Yep.
Mainly because I'm just a bit of a lazy guitar player.
I just think
I'd prefer not to play bar chords if I don't have to. But saying that, it's not just because I'm lazy, but I like the sound of the strings ringing out.
If you're playing,
because you just don't like, you know, if you can play the bar chord version of that for them to hear. I guess with a bit of sustain, like on an electric guitar, it does ring out, but it's not quite the same.
Yeah, I think capos are great for, especially for country song or country and rock, because, you know, if you want that sound, if I was to play a C in that shape, it's just not going to. It's very hard to do anything with it unless you have that capo on, and then you can play a C, and then you can do all your little tricks. And whatnot. So it gives you, it certainly gives a different sound to it.
And as a singer, like it allows you a bit of flexibility. Like you don't have to transpose.
Yes.
If you like particular voicings of chords, you don't have to transpose it into a key that you maybe don't like the voicings of the way the chords sound as much. So, and it also gives you a bit of flexibility. Like, you know, if you're having a day where your range is a bit lower or higher, that you can just easily change the key without thinking about it too much.
So this one's in the key of E flat.
Yeah.
Is this a key that you use a lot because of where your vocal is, or?
Not really. The song was originally in the key of A.
Okay.
So if you can, I don't want to take my capo off because it's tuned nicely to it. But if you can just show that down in A. So it used to be down there, and I sang the kind of the verse and the chorus all in the same octave. But what I do now, which was I'm currently recording at the Aviary Studios in Abbotsford with Fraser Montgomery and Nick Eden.
Right.
And Fraser actually just said, like, oh, I really want to hear your voice at either end of its range.
Yep.
And see how far we can push it, because the song is kind of like this desperate thing, like it's about wanting to get the right balance.
So you just recorded the one song there, or have you recorded enough for
the whole album
record?
is being recorded there, so we're about just over halfway done, so we've got about 6 songs.
That's cool.
Almost down and got a few more to go. Yeah.
It's awesome. Hang on, I'll just
So yeah, what it means for my...
I don't need to play that string anyway.
For my voice is like I'm singing the verse like really super low, and it kind of like, I can't actually pull it off completely, but that's kind of like the character of it, because it's like, I wanna live in the city so I can hit the town, but I wanna move to the country so I can settle down. So it's that really low.
So you're playing just an E7, so B7. Okay.
Yeah, or just a major, not a 7th. And then, you know, the first like half chorus, I sing it down like, I want it all, I want it all. And then in this one, I kind of shift my voice, so I wanna travel, see the world like a troubadour, but I wanna hold a steady job, be responsible. I don't wanna live a life in debt to big men in suits to collect the realm, but I wanna show you that I can give just as I receive. So now I'm up the octave. I want it all, I want it all, I don't want it all. I want it all, I want it all, I don't want it all. So the chorus just kind of like stays on that E flat, E sus.
Was there one
pattern.
extra chord in there that I missed?
Yeah, there's a
What's it like?
Well, it's a B minor for me, so
okay.
F.
It's an F minor 7.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. But you're opening your finger up there, or are you having a flat?
Yeah, I just don't play all the notes. So yeah.
Right. Okay.
So it's I don't wanna live, and like I'm kind of using this sus thing.
Yeah.
Is like almost if I just talk for one moment in like the shape of the chord rather than because this I'm calling this an A even though it's really an E flat major.
It's a classic rock, one finger rock A.
And then that is like a sus, an A sus, but it's also like it's pretty much a D, like a D.
Yeah, D shape.
It's like one note.
Yeah.
You know, if it was
that's funny, isn't it? Because
D on the bottom.
That can be a variety of things.
Yeah. So I sometimes go to that D chord instead. Yep. So the bit, and there's also that minor chord there. So I don't wanna live a life in debt to big men in suits who collect the rent. And it happens on the 2, I guess.
That's cool.
Men in suits who collect the rent.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
I love that.
So that's
cool.
That's basically the song.
That is. It's not totally different from the early stuff, but it's different. It's got a bit more rock to it.
Yeah, it does, and I think like a combination of buying this guitar, getting a bit tired of playing my acoustic guitar live because it never sounded the way I wanted it to, and maybe just broadening my listening palette a little bit more. Yeah. And also like...
is that hollow?
No, it's solid.
Right.
And also getting like a little bit more attitude and kind of confidence.
Yes. Like
to not just be this like little folk singer girl, but to like rock out with a band.
Yeah.
It's like, it's really super fun. And I think I needed that change, like after Silver Birch was quite a sort of sad, quiet, melancholy album that lots of people really identified with, but it just wasn't always that fun to perform the songs. So I wanted some like stuff that's really fun. Yeah.
Well, you know what? It's one of those things, isn't it? Like you see young kids coming into the shop and it's they want their first guitar. It's like, well, here's an acoustic. No. They want to plug in.
Rock out.
Girl, guy, doesn't matter. Everyone wants the electric. And what was I going to ask you about there? I've completely forgotten. A tour coming up?
A little,
after?
Not much of a tour. So at the moment, it's just the show in Melbourne, the launch at Starwood Distillery next week, and then I'll be having a bit of a farewell for now show at the end of October.
Okay, and take a Christmas break.
I'm taking a break, so it's just my partner and I having a baby actually. So she's pregnant. Thank you, and we're taking some months off. So I'll sort of.
Welcome to my world.
October 21st at the Caravan Club in the Winnebago Lounge will be our sort of Bye For Now show, which isn't announced yet.
Is the Caravan Club open? I thought they were closed.
Yeah, it's moved to Bentley.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was in Oakley, and it's moved.
Closed
it's a new location. It's a great room. I've been there.
Right.
So they've got the main room, and they've got the Winnebago Lounge, which is their smaller band room.
Okay.
So the Winnebago Lounge is
close
super
to home
new.
for you as well.
Close to home for me.
The
South
perfect
side.
gig.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember what I was going to ask you. Amp. What are you using?
Oh, I could have brought it in. It's in the car actually. You might be surprised to know that I use a little Roland Cube amp from the 80s.
Wow. I am surprised.
It's a solid state, like cream Tolex, they call it.
Yeah.
And it just it sounds incredible.
Wow.
It's weird. Like even at the Aviary where I'm recording, they have like a room of amps and all, Princetons and DeVilles and I don't know, lots of like nice and rare and different stuff. And we ended up using my amp for like a good portion. We double amped, but we used mine on pretty much all the electric guitars.
It's not that surprising, I reckon, because when I was around in the 80s, going back a while, but the amp of choice for a lot of people was the Roland Jazz Chorus.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to a Roland Jazz Chorus.
They really made some great transistor amps. They're the best of the transistor amps, I think. So
yeah, and for me, it's like it's small. I think I bought it on eBay, and I meant to buy, like a friend had one, and I really liked it, and I saw it hers, and then I meant to buy the bigger one, which was 60 watt, but I bought the 40 watt. But it's like totally fine.
Yeah, yeah.
And even though it's small, it's actually quite heavy.
Yeah. Oh, 40's heaps. That's loud. So, well, Miss Wise, Miss Little Wise, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me. It's been so fun. I love guitars, so I could just chat forever.
You have to come and co-host my morning show when Sir Nigel's on holidays or something.
Sure.
Then we can just do whatever we want. But so let's just plug that gig next Thursday night. Next Thursday night,
Starwood Distillery in Port Melbourne, part of Live and Local Festival. So thanks City of Port Phillip. Cool. Ben Maswick supporting. Doors are at 6. Come down for free gin. There's going to be a food truck. So just like come for after work drinks and dinner, and it's a completely free show. Okay. And I should say that I'm also currently holding a possible campaign to crowdfund some additional dollars to put this album out there.
How do we is that through your website?
So that's on my website, littlewise.com.au. It's also on my Facebook and Twitter and Instagram.
I will put all the links and relative information in the update, and head down, see Little Wise, have some gin, stagger out to the food truck. Hopefully it's a kebab van or something. Make it truly legit.
Yeah, I think it's a German sausages.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
oh, well, there you go.
With veggie options too.
Oh, good. Definitely. Yeah. Stay healthy, folks. Hey, thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks so much for having me. See you again soon.
See you guys. You can find this on YouTube shortly. Please subscribe to us, and thank you very much for Little Wise. Yeah.
Thanks.
See you guys.
See ya.
Boom.
Cool.
3, 2, 1. That was awesome.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.